And they eat lots of different kinds of fish, including whale sharks. So that's why they live in the other side of the world, so they won't get there. And wait. And this one is a sea star. There's so much sea star, different kinds of sea stars, so that's why I didn't write them. I just write 100 instead. No, I mean 1,000. This is the kelp forest. Kelp forest is also just like the reef. This one is a giant squid.
Giant squid?
Uh-huh. Giant squid has suction cups, and they do the same thing like a dolphin fish does. I mean, dolphin octopus. This is a dolphin octopus. They're pink. They have suction cups, but the suction cups aren't even there, but they still does. They squirt ink. This one is. This is a
What is that?
It's a hunuga poa.
What's that mean?
Well, a hunuga poa are really scared, and they have used their fins to lock them in the hiding place. And this is a squid. A squid only have one eye, and they have tentacles. And they squirt ink. And this is a Queensland lungfish. Queensland lungfish is the queen of all sea creatures. And it's actually a type of eel. This is a vampire squid. Huh?
What is it, eel?
What? What did you say?
What kind of fish is that?
What kind of fish is this?
Yeah.
It's a Queensland lungfish. It's the queen of all the sea creatures. This one is a vampire squid. A vampire squid squirts slimy stuff. I don't know. It's kind of, and they have lights on their head. They can turn it off, and they have spikes behind their cape.
No split lift the house.
What?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And this one is a giant Pacific octopus. And it's really cool. Giant Pacific octopus are really clever. It's orange, squirts ink, has tentacles, and as you know, and also they can throw 8 things at once. And they always discover new things.
Okay.
This one is the reef. Well, I couldn't draw the reef, so I just drew the reef.
Hi, Kuya Ron.
And the reef also have lots of places for the creatures to hide, and it's their home. This one is a golden coral. The golden coral is 500 years old, and it only lives in the sea mount. Also golden. It's a golden coral. This is a seahorse. A seahorse has a pouch for their babies to go.
Stop jumping.
And they can change colors. And that's all I know about them. And this is a sea snail. Sea snail does the same thing like snail does, but they do it underwater. This is a pilotfish. A pilotfish cleans up. Actually, it eats gut. And this is one of the 3 big creatures I know: a giant squid, a blue whale, and a whale shark. And that's all. And there's still 2 more books. And this one. Wait, I'll have to look for part 2. Okay, here's part 2. This one is a colossal squid. It's purple. It has spikes instead of suction cups. It's bigger than a giant squid. And this was a cookie cutter shark. Cookie cutter sharks eat rubber. And this one is a sperm whale. Sperm whales are really afraid, and mama sperm whales are very protectable about their young and their nests. And this one, a humpback whale. They sing songs so they can talk to each other. To other sperm whales, actually humpback whales. Okay. And this one is a snapping shrimp. Snapping shrimp is one of the loudest creatures I see. When it snaps its big claw, its snap is really loud and knocks out anybody who's too close. This is a snapping shrimp can snap his giant claw, and they can knock anybody else who's really, really close to it. Mud skipper. Mud skippers fight over their mud. And they need a place where lots of mud.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
They live in the mud.
Yeah, they live in the mud. And they fight over it. And they want to have their own space of mud. And this one is an eel.
What is that?
This one is an eel. An eel can go on land and in water. This one is electric eel. Electric eel can also go on land and water, and they can throw electricity.
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm. This one is a torpedo ray. A torpedo ray can do big zaps of electricity to anyone who's touching it. This one is a micro. It only lives in red, dark, cold places. Actually red water, and they eat rust, and they're really small and you couldn't see them. You can only see them with a scope, but actually I don't know what it's called. No, it's okay. And this one is an extra fish. You can see the bones of the extra fish. And this is a flying fish. It can leap out of the water, and it can glide away. Even this one is a monsoon ray. A monsoon rays go farther than any other swimmers. Anyways, leatherback sea turtles can go farther than them.
Okay.
And also, they also find food. They go they have to go fast for their celebration. And this one is a logo squid. It's a squid that doesn't have tentacles, but it actually uses legs. And this one is a dwarf London shark. A dwarf London shark has a light on its bottom and it glows, and no one never seen this kind of fish before. This one is a red urchin. It destroys the roots of the kelp to make the kelp flow away. This one is a moran eel. Moran eels actually eat. Well, they do the same thing like wolf eel does. Wolf eels does the same thing like moran eels does. And this here is a gulper eel. A gulper eel eats octopus. And then we're moving on to part 3. Skin guard.
Part 3.
This is a mammoth octopus. It can turn itself into and make it look like different creatures. And sometimes if you see creature, you think it must be a mammoth octopus. And this one is a dolphin. Wait. Oh yeah, actually this one is a lemon shark. Lemon sharks actually actually use their nose to know where they're going. And they do the same thing like great white sharks does. And this one is a marine iguana. Marine iguanas eat seaweed. This one is wait, what's this one?
What is marine iguana eat?
And I don't know tell them. And what's this again? Never mind of this. I don't know. I forgot it. And this one is a cone-tooth thing. A cone-tooth thing goes on land.
Yeah.
It's a type of fish, but it only stays close to land. It couldn't go any deeper. This one is a red rock crab. It's big, strong jets of water from their mouth. They have small claws, and they're really fast too. And this one is a reef lobster. A reef lobster have really big jaws to snap, and they live in the reef. And different type of lobsters doesn't live in the reef. Only these kind of reef lobsters. And this one is a ranny peat. Ranny peats actually are blind, but they know their way out of caves. And this one is a saltwater crocodile. Saltwater crocodiles only sleep when they're in coldest places. Yeah. And this one is
The crocodile? Salt water?
it's a saltwater crocodile.
What they eat?
And they also eat anybody, or it eats machines underwater. And also,
Is it big?
it's the biggest crocodile ever. And this one is a whale louse. Whale louse only lives in whales, different types of whales. This one is a blobfish. Blobfish couldn't move because they're the only creatures that cannot move, and they have no muscles. They stay on top of underwater volcanoes.
What they eat?
And they also
Volcano?
yeah, but I don't know what they eat. But they do wait for food to come down for them. But I don't know what they eat. And this one is, and these are avocados. Avocados only live in the swamp. They're green, and that's all I know. And this one is a buckyman. A buckyman likes shiny things, and they eat shiny things. This one is a garden eel. A garden eel is not allowed to get seen. They hide in their holes, only if they get seen. It's impossible to see them. And this one is a catfish. Catfish do the same thing like fish does, and it eats algae. This one is a flying fish. Flying fish fly. Wait, have I already told this?
Yeah, you did.
What?
You told them again.
I just already said the flying fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, I
What
already
did
said.
flying fish eat?
Actually, I don't know what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is a comb snail. Comb snails actually
Kuya Ron. Hello, Kuya Ron.
from their mouths, and the arrows can actually sting. This one is a helmet crab. Helmet crabs borrow the shell from other creatures for protection because helmet crabs couldn't grow their own shells, and that's all. Sea creatures. Well, actually, I kind of have some more
Where's your planet?
planet book?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I left it in the office.
Mayroon pang book. Huwag kang ganyan. May book pa. Anong tomorrow ka dyan? Kay pinabasa mo bitaw. Ma'am si Jane.
And this is my planet book. And this planet is Mercury. Mercury is hotter than Venus. Mercury, and you couldn't live in Mercury.
Why?
This-
What's in Mercury?
Well, it's too hot and it doesn't have any food for us to eat. And this is Venus. Venus is the brightest planet of all and hottest planet of all. It's hotter than Mercury, but it's you know why it's hot? Because it traps heat inside it. Venus is an orange planet.
Orange planet.
Yeah, and it's and
Napagod na daw si
sometimes
teacher.
people call it the North Star because it shines brightly.
Can we see them?
Well, only at night.
Mm.
And then it is nighttime. And this is Earth. Earth is the planet we live in. It gives us life so we can survive.
Is it big?
Yeah, Earth is big, but
What is in the earth?
in Earth there's life.
And what you said you have? It has
Wait, what?
continent. Is that what is it? You said before.
Well, Earth has life so we can survive.
Oh, how many continent is in earth?
What?
Continent, is that what you said?
No,
How?
it's life.
Our life?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And this one is Mars.
Oh. How many continent in earth?
Oh yeah, continents.
Oh, continent there,
Or
continent.
continents.
Oh, sorry.
And Earth has continents, and there's 7 continents.
What are those?
And the continents are wait. Let me think.
Africa. Also to? Australia. Also, what is it?
North and South America, and Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, and Australia.
Kinulik pa nga ako ng bata. Na ba yan?
And
Oh.
this one is Mars.
Okay. Can we live on Mars?
We couldn't live on Mars because it had dust storms, and you needed lots of air tanks if we need to live in Mars so we can breathe.
Are they people in Mars?
No. But Mars is really terrible because it throws rocks to Earth.
Oh.
And even the rocks that you see in Earth are actually from Mars.
Really?
Because Mars just throw them to Earth but with Jupiter's,
Why they throw rocks on Earth?
well, actually they also throw Mars. It's the smallest planet and it's not fair, so that's why he's throwing the rocks to hit Earth and the rest to make them even smaller. And because Mars is not even because it's smaller, but Mercury is much more smaller.
So why they throw rocks on Earth?
I don't know why. Well, a good thing about Jupiter, because Jupiter protects Earth with its gravity to pull the meteors not head to Earth, except for the rest of the planets.
Oh, okay.
Because the planets are too far away to reach them.
So it's good for Jupiter.
Jupiter is a good planet.
So are we?
And between Mars and Jupiter, there's the Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt, inside the Kuiper Belt, you can see a big rock called Ceres. It's actually a type of dwarf planet, and it's the only one living in the solar system. Jupiter is the massive planet, and now there's 2 separate robots exploring Jupiter to find, so they can send a message is of all the things from Jupiter that people cannot have or they can have, but they only send it to the scientists.
Okay.
And this is Saturn. Saturn has rings, but the rings are really thin. You cannot see them really far.
What does Saturn do? Can we live on Saturn? Nahurot nagpagkaon ni Kuya Ron.
I don't know. And this one is Uranus. Uranus is also a type of planet that is the same size of Saturn, but it's sideways. It also has rings. 2 rings.
Oh,
Saturn
really?
has 3 rings.
Oh, really? Naunsa naman na Kuya Ron, na puro na makakaon diya Kuya.
Is a cold planet, and it doesn't have any swirls. It's really smooth, and its surface isn't stable, just like Neptune's surface isn't stable. And Neptune is the farthest planet. It's the last planet from the sun.
Oh.
It also has a surface that is not stable. And it has supersonic winds and a faster than anybody's
Food
strong
natin.
blow.
Oh, okay. So are we not allowed to live there?
Uh-huh.
There's no people can live there?
Uh-huh. It's true. And this one is the sun. The sun is kind of huge. It's huge, bigger than Jupiter.
Can we live in the sun?
No, because it's too hot.
What happens if there's no sun?
Then the planets will just go around outer space because the Saturn's gravity pulls the planets to not just go drift around out of space, or else if there's no sun, no light on Earth,
And
it's going to be safe that there's not going to be magnetic. There's not going to be the sun's ways to get into the Earth. The good thing of the
but Kuya Ron said here, he likes to live in the sun. Someone likes to live in the sun. Is that possible?
No, it's impossible. Because if you live in the sun, you might burn and die because it's too hot. Hotter than Venus and hotter than Mercury.
So if the earth going to the sun, we will all die.
If the Earth is the first planet from the sun, it's going to explode and we're
So
going to
what
die.
is the first planet from the sun?
Mercury,
Next,
Venus,
next,
Earth,
next,
Mars,
next,
Jupiter,
next,
Saturn,
next,
Uranus,
next.
Neptune.
Oh, okay.
And this one is Ceres.
What is Ceres?
Ceres is the only planet that lives in the solar system. Ceres is not in the Kuiper Belt. Pluto.
Unsa man ang Kuiper Belt, sis? Unsa man ang Kuiper Belt? What is Kuiper Belt?
The Kuiper Belt is a rocky space, and Neptune keeps the Kuiper Belt not moving so much, or else it will heat each other,
sinagot ka
and
na.
it goes through all the planets, making them even smaller.
Oh, that's a Kuiper Belt?
Yeah. So that's why Neptune is really important.
Ikaw nga host, sunod-sunurin mo ang mga planeta. Tumigil ka dyan, Kuya
This one
Ron.
is Makemake. Makemake is
Is a planet too?
but it also lives in the solar system.
A dwarf planet, you said.
Yeah, it's a dwarf planet and it lives in the Kuiper Belt, but it moves very, very slow. It's around the sun really slow. This one is Haumea. It also lives in the Kuiper Belt. And also Haumea.
Why it's called Kuiper Belt?
Because it's called Kuiper Belt because actually I don't know why it's called Kuiper Belt. This one is Haumea. Haumea has his rings around it, and the shade the shade in Haumea is just nothing. It's just the spin of Haumea, because Haumea spins really fast.
Are we allowed to live there?
No.
No.
And this one,
Why they are called dwarf planet?
because if they're called the same planet, if they're called dwarf planets, then it's cool. Well, if they're called solar system planets, they're not going to live in the Kuiper Belt anymore. Without them in the Kuiper Belt, then they're going to just, the Kuiper Belt is going to be ruined and no more, and there's no more there's no more solar junk.
Nakay na substances?
And if the dwarf planets move to the Kuiper Belt, only 4 of them, they need a new name called the dwarf planets. Dwarf planets are the smallest planet.
Wala ko hindi ko alam pinagsasabi niya actually.
And this one is Eris. Eris is the biggest dwarf planet ever.
The biggest dwarf planet can we live in Eris?
But Eris looks like the moon. But Eris only has 3 moons.
3
And
months.
this
How
one-
many moon?
and
How
this
many? So we're not allowed to.
And this one is Pluto. Pluto was a dwarf planet a solar system planet, but now it become a dwarf planet.
Why?
That's because Pluto wasn't a solar system planet anymore. The solar system planets need to clear their space so they can spin around the sun, but dwarf planets doesn't.
Ah,
So that's why they live in the Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt follows the dwarf planets, so they won't get any get any bumps from anything. So
wala
that's
akong
why
naintindihan na.
Pluto is not a dwarf planet anymore.
Not anymore?
Pluto become the biggest dwarf planet ever because it's bigger than.
So we can live in there
Earth.
now. Is this has people there?
Actually, lots of planets we couldn't live in any planet. Just Earth.
Just Earth? How
Uh-huh.
come?
Because other planets don't have life. They only have life for aliens, but there's no such thing as aliens.
There's no aliens.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
Okay.
There's only one planet that has life, and it's called Earth and Pluto's brother.
Huh?
Pluto's brother.
Pluto's brother?
Pluto's brother is just have lots more water than Earth has. It only has 2 islands. No continents.
What is that? To what?
Huh?
To how many?
There's only two islands in Pluto's
Island.
brothers.
Oh.
But there's no continents.
No continents. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what is that 2 island called?
And the 2 islands are called, well, I don't know what they're
You
called.
don't know?
Uh-huh. They also Pluto's brother is the same as Earth but older, but also Earth has a bigger also a solar brother. And the solar brother also is a type of Earth, but it's bigger than Earth. It's older and has lots and lots of space. There's also life. And
Okay.
there's 3 planets have life. It's Pluto's brother, Earth.
So
and
if
the solar-
Pluto
and the
have life, so we can live there.
Actually, only Pluto's brother, except for Pluto.
So
Just only Pluto's brother.
okay, so then we can live there then if there is life.
There is life. Only
Yeah.
in 3 planets called Pluto's brother, Earth.
So then we can live in there.
But that's the only planets we can go.
Okay.
Cause,
How about Mars? They said people can live in Mars now.
but actually no,
No?
cause Mars we couldn't live in Mars cause there's too much dust storms and it's not good to survive in dust storms. And it has ice and it even has deserts. So much deserts and only a little bit of ice. So we couldn't survive.
So is that it, teacher? Say thank you to them.
Okay.
Say thank you for listening.
And thank you for listening to all my books. But I actually got more books. But I'm going to finish them tomorrow, okay? Because I haven't...
So ano, naintindihan niyo?
This is step 1. The first book I made.
Naintindihan mo?
I'm tired.
Kunwari, sabi naman ni Ron, kasi nano ko sis ba, in-live ko kay OFW sa Canada, sabi ni Ron, kunwari nakinig pero wala man naintindihan ka host. Ha? Not yet. Kunwari daw nakikinig, wala talaga ako naintindihan. Meron. Asa naman si Sardo? O ano, sino nakikinig dyan? Naintindihan? Kunwari ka pa ron, hindi mo naman din naintindihan ron. Kunwari ka pa. Ikaw din naman, di mo naintindihan.
Ikaw na lang siya pagkabusog. Ipanguntok.
Okay, bye everybody. Nag-live ako sa kanya. Tapos mayroon akong viewers. Mamaya, lagyan ko to ng Hi, bebe! Oy, hawa diha. Nausa man ni sila, oy. Bye, everyone!
Mommy,